Recently, somebody had asked me to give them a random fact about myself, and I actually thought about it for a second and realized that I have a lot of really random facts about myself. Where do you go? Do you say something weird, or do you say something really embarrassing, or maybe you just say something really boring and normal? I compiled a random list of random facts about myself. Maybe I'll just use this as a prerequisite before going out on any kind of dates from now on. They could just watch this instead of going through any of the awkwardness of having to go through the random facts about yourself stage. And if they still want to hang out after watching this, then we'll probably be best friends forever, because this is pretty much as random as you're gonna get. So here we go. These are facts that you may or may not know about me. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not Hawaiian, nor am I Chinese, nor am I the white girl that looks Chinese. I'm actually 100% Korean, and if Korea was still a monarchy, I would be a princess. As far as sports go, I really follow 3 sports. I follow football. I'm a Giants fan. I follow hockey. I'm a Devs hockey fan, and I follow NCAA basketball. I'm a Villanova basketball fan. I have a super unnatural ability to make really, really fast mustaches. People think that I spend all this time at work making these fake mustaches on a stick. It only takes me like 20-30 seconds a pop to make them. So I'll show you right now. There you go. Mustache on a stick. Done. I was actually the pledge mom for the sorority that I was in, Alpha Delta Pi at Villanova, and it actually kind of warms my heart still to see everyone in my class that I had still hang out and talk and, be friends and be really cool. In high school, I jokingly wanted a Christmas tree farm because I thought that it was really cool that you could just have what was considered farmland and you didn't really have to do anything except for let people cut pine trees from your farm, I guess, and you didn't really have to do any work. So it was always a joke that I wanted a Christmas tree farm. But in addition to the Christmas tree farm, I have this weird affinity for llamas. So I always joked that I was going to have a llama Christmas tree farm, and that I was going to dress up the llamas like reindeer during Christmas time, because how awesome would that be? I randomly told this to one of my friends, and he was like, I wonder what the market for llama Christmas tree farms are, completely joking, and we looked it up on the internet not that long ago. There are actually llama Christmas tree farms that exist. Llama Christmas tree farms that exist. So I don't know if I was more shocked that I wasn't the only one that thought of having a llama Christmas tree farm, or that my dreams of having the only llama Christmas tree farm were crushed. I was like, well, what about an alpaca Christmas tree farm? And that exists too. So there goes my backup plan of being a llama/alpaca Christmas tree farmer, because I'm not the only one who's thought of that. Google it. I'm very, very, very guilty of having BRFS, which is bitchy resting face syndrome. You have to admit, I have a pretty good bitchy resting face. Actually, when I was younger, I used to smile so much that people used to ask me how in the world I was so sunshiny and how I could possibly be in such a good mood all the time. So it's one extreme or the other. So I didn't know, I guess. I've never found that medium of between the bitchy resting face and the overly joyous, bouncy Asian girl running around. I can play the flute and I can play the guitar. Okay, so I can play half a song on the guitar on one chord. I used to be able to do it with power chords, but that's neither here nor there. It's still a song. But I can legit play the flute. I just haven't read sheet music since I was in high school, but I'm sure that if I looked at it, I could probably pick it up. One time when I was 9 years old, my family and I went to Mexico on a vacation, and they had asked for volunteers. I volunteered for something that I didn't know what I was volunteering for. I went up on stage and I was entered in a singing contest at 9, and I was so nervous and I had no idea what to sing. You could either pick your own song or you could pick from the sheet music that they had, and just out of pressure, I just started singing anything, the first thing that could pop up in my head. So I started singing Jingle Bells, and everyone just started singing along, and I guess it went over great because I won. And I won my parents a bottle of tequila, and I won a bottle of soda. And ever since then, people randomly recognized me throughout the resort and would ask me to sing Jingle Bells, even at the airport, and it was really awkward. There used to be this dance song that used to be really, really popular in the 90s, and for the life of me, I could not figure out what they were saying. Me and my sister just used to mumble it. Rice pudding to my eye? So for the longest time we just sang along to it as feed rice pudding to my eye, but it turns out, before the interwebs came about and things like that, which is why we couldn't just look it up. The actual lyrics are, these sounds fall into my mind. We were way off, but how much cooler is it to feed rice pudding to my eye than with these sounds falling into my mind? I don't know about you, but I like my version better. My first super alcoholic beverage, besides wine cooler, was mixing gin with frosted Gatorade because that's all I knew at the time and that's all my roommate had available in college. So to this day, I cannot drink purple frosted Gatorade or green frosted Gatorade. Being a bartender now, that just, it makes me cringe so bad. After college, I chose to drink sour everything, some whiskey sours, Midori sours, the sweetest things that you could possibly think of that would give me the biggest headaches now. And I went from that to drinking Red Bull vodkas, which was like the next step, I guess, in alcoholism. And then from there, Red Bull vodkas turned into vodka tonics, and then vodka tonics turned into tequila shots, and then tequila shots turned into beer, and then beer turned into whiskey, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm at my whiskey and now the craft beer stage. So I guess as I've gotten older, my palate has gotten a little more mature. My actions and my attitude from drinking hasn't really matured much, although the actual beverages have. When I was 7 or 8, I fractured my wrist in a pillow fight. My very first pet was a goldfish that I had gotten from a birthday slumber party at my friend's house. So instead of, going out and getting a bowl for it and things of that nature at the pet store, we decided to let it go in the lake. And I was crying so hard and I was so emotionally attached, worried about this fish, that my parents then decided that I couldn't have any pets from then on out because I had such emotional attachment issues, because I was literally at the lake bawling my eyes out. After that, I ended up having a couple hermit crabs and the same thing happened, so then I opted to not get any pets for a very, very long time because I just didn't know how to handle death, I guess, at that point. My hermit crab had died, and I made my boyfriend at the time stand outside with me and bury it in the backyard while I was wailing and crying hysterically over a hermit crab. My favorite Christmas song is Last Christmas by Wham! And I listen to it all year round. And not just because the sushi place that I go to used to play it all year round, so I would hear it all the time. On a serious note, I've been completely in love twice. I think that I consider two people two of my greatest loves in my lifetime. And they say that you get three. So I would be gold medal at the Olympics of falling down. For no reason. Sober. Or drunk. Either or. I actually have this scar on my head from when I fell when I was 3 for no reason. I just fell. I have one kind of bum eye. My right eye has a muscle problem where I can't focus on objects, so without the use of my left eye, my right eye is kind of useless. I can see things clearly, I just can't focus on things. So when I don't have my left eye open, everything looks like this. So I can't drive or anything like that. I would be actually handicapped if I didn't have use of my left eye. which was why when I scratched my cornea last week, it was one of the worst things that's ever happened, and I couldn't see anything, and I had to sit in darkness for 2 days. I had surgery on my eye twice to try to correct it and strengthen it, but it didn't really work out. I was just a miserable child that had an eye patch on and would cheat when my mom would walk out of the room and lift it up so I could watch cartoons. I don't like Coke, but I like Diet Coke. I don't like Diet Pepsi, but I love Pepsi. Excluding a backup plan to have a llama Christmas tree farm, which is not going to happen. A couple of my dream jobs included getting to be a Muppet maker at FAO Shorts. If you've ever been there in New York or any of the big ones, they have a whole Muppet section where they just have people that build Muppets and puppets, and I just thought that was hilarious. For some reason, I was just like, I thought it'd be really cool to be a Muppet maker. I thought it'd be really cool to be a Snapple flavor inventor, and my ulterior motive for that was that they used to have a very cherry Snapple iced tea and they stopped making it, and I needed a way to get back in there and tell them that I needed it. I have a huge extended family, lots of cousins, especially on my mom's side. We grew up hanging out a lot together. And we used to play family games a lot. We used to play, especially charades. And one of our family staples is if you're around my family and you lay flat on your stomach on the ground and you put your hands up like this, it means that you are either Jesus or asparagus. When I was really young, my dad used to make me read the dictionary, and I pretty much quit after I got to the word abacus. My first car was a Geo Tracker. It was a cute little beach cruiser, and I didn't really appreciate it at the time because it wasn't just a cool normal sedan like everyone else had. But it was a cute little first ride. I've never watched The Matrix. Me and my sister both took Taekwondo, and the only reason why I think either of us really liked going was because we got to go to the store next door afterwards and buy Oranginas. I love black olives. I can just sit and eat a can of black olives by itself with nothing else as is and be completely content. My first celebrity crush was Devon Sawa, who is the kid who played Casper. Like in the movie Casper, he was actually the real boy that showed up for 0.5 seconds in the movie when he was my first crush. Him and Brad Renfro. So those are just some random facts about me. I think everyone should at one point or another sit down and make a list of things that they think make them awesome or random facts about themselves, because it's not something you get to think about often. So it was pretty cool getting to just see it all together. And I am pretty awesome.